We are taking you to levels that you never thought possible. We are overcoming your fears, your doubts, your insecurities, and coming out better on the other side through the process of overcoming the beast within. Hence the name, The Beast Within. In this episode, I am going to convince you guys that this is the number one beast holding you back from reaching the level of success that you are aiming for. And I'm not going to share it with you just yet. I just want you to let you know that this beast is bigger now than it ever was before. The era that we're in, this beast overcomes your life, and it's sitting in your pocket, on your wrist, in your headphones. It is the daily consistent distractions and quick hits of pleasure that's keeping you from staying still. And let me tell you guys that if you want to reach a level of success, if you want to reach that full potential that we're talking about on The Beast Within, you have to be okay with stillness. You have to be okay with boring. You have to be okay with consistency. But you see, this beast convinces you that this discomfort is danger and that boredom is failure. But you see, this beast is lying to you. This beast wants to keep you from reaching your fullest potential. This beast wants to hold on to you and take away your freedom to living up to that potential. What is this beast? Today's beast is the dopamine beast. The dopamine beast is something that holds your attention for much longer than it should. And in today's era, like I mentioned, with the cell phone, with TV, with the instant gratifications that we have, with social media lurking, these instant gratifications creates a trap, and it robs your energy, destroys your creativity, and convinces you that more equals better. But the thing is that the one thing that this takes away from you that you need to understand helps you to get to the potential that you're looking for is your focus. The more you distract yourself with these things, these dopamine hits, these quick dopamine hits, the more it lures you away from what you're really trying to accomplish. The more it takes away your focus. And let me tell you, if you want to get to the level of success that I know you're capable of, you have to keep that focus, and you have to not allow anything to take it away from you. And this dopamine beast is wired to steal your focus. It's more than just a notification. It's more than just content. It's more than just dopamine, as we were describing here. It's taking away your fulfillment. This beast doesn't just waste your time. It rewires your brain to settle for less. You start to become very codependent on these dopamine hits. You want the things now, which in a sense will rewire your brain to think that everything should be instant, right? You get instant Netflix, you get instant social media hits, you see people with instant satisfaction on their social media, you get instant delivery, porn, if you're hooked up on porn, you get instant satisfaction. You don't have to work for anything, and this correlates and it rewires your brain to believe that this is real life. Now, when you're chasing a dream body, well, it hasn't happened over a couple months. You must think that it's not for you. You must think that you can't lose the weight. No, it just takes more consistency. It takes more of the boring day-to-day tasks that you have minimized because of this dopamine beast. A little bit of science behind dopamine. What is dopamine? Dopamine is a motivation chemical. It's not a pleasure chemical. It spikes when you are anticipating reward, not when you actually receive the award. So the thing is you are always anticipating the reward to come so quickly. The modern world floods your system with dopamine, and it's all at the press of a button. Likes, scrolls, alerts, porn, fast food, outside noise, caffeine. Your brain goes into an overstimulation. Over time, your brain becomes desensitized. You need more stimulation to feel the same reward. It's just like any addiction. It's just like the drug that you hear, the gateway drug, and then you need a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. And this is how dopamine works. It almost numbs you from being able to love and understand the daily grind, which is the boring. You lose your patience, your presence, and your purpose. Patience is key. to reaching your full potential. Patience is key to seeing success. And once you finally start to feel and understand and develop success, well, you become a more patient person because you understand it. You learn it. You learn what it takes to get to that level of success. You learn what it takes to see real growth. But with overstimulation, with these dopamine hits, this dopamine beast, what it does is it takes that away before you ever get to that point. So you never get to feel what success feels like. So you never get to feel to slow down. All you know is go, go, go. All you know is distraction. And if you never get bored, you never get brilliant. If you never get bored, you never get brilliant. Stillness is not weakness. It's where your real creativity lives. Stillness allows you the time to focus. Stillness allows you the time to optimize and break down what your purpose is, what you're driven by, and how to obtain it. You can't just have a dream. You have to put together a plan, a system, if you will, that we've talked about in the past, that you're only as good as your systems. Life is all about systems. Everything that you do is a systematic approach. If you build a system around something, you will have an opportunity to succeed. And not only that, it slows your mind down to have a system. Because now you don't need to be overstimulated and overthinking constantly all the time. What do I have to do now? How do I do this? What piece should I go? Which avenue should I take? What health option what food should I eat? No, you have a system. And all you do is you follow that system today, tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, and you get to the place that you're looking to accomplish. But this dopamine beast doesn't want you to get that. It wants you to get hits and spikes now. It wants you to flip your system out of control. It wants to take over your system. And that's what we're here to fight today. We're here to overcome this dopamine beast. What does this beast cost you? What is this beast? Why am I even talking about this beast? What is this beast going to cost you in your everyday life? Why is it going to stop you from reaching your success? Well, you see, this beast burns you out before you even begin. Your brain is constantly in go mode, but you never go anywhere meaningful. You're always pushing to the next and the next. You always have 10 things going on at once. You're multitasking. Man, there was a time, this is where this beast really hit me. I couldn't even drive without checking my phone. And even if there was nothing to look at, I would look at my phone and I would go through everything I needed to go through. I'd set it down, and then all of a sudden, 2 minutes later, I found my phone back in my hand. I could not step away from this dopamine beast. My brain insisted that I needed to be on at all times. And this, I'm telling you right now, and what I mean by you burn out, this leads to ultimate burnout. You don't sleep well because your brain is never actually resting and that your body's never resting. Your cortisol levels are through the roof, dopamine levels at an all-time high. You're consuming so much that you have no energy to create, to lead, and to reflect on your creation. Because that's ultimately what we need to do is you have to create something. Then you have to take action, massive action on that creation. And then you need to bring it all back and relive it and reflect on everything that you did right, everything that went wrong, and what you can do now to better your system. Because again, it's a systematic approach. You create, you act, and then you reflect and you build this system, and it gets better and better every single day. But this dopamine, constant dopamine, takes you out of reflection. It takes you out of creation, and it puts you in a spiral. This focus, your focus shatters. Multitasking becomes the absolute norm. And trust me, when you're multitasking, when you're trying to do so much all at once, look, you cannot focus on the one thing that matters. You need to dim everything down. You need to dial down and do the boring, consistent work. This is the thing. This dopamine, it makes you not be able to sit through a full conversation because you have so much going on. You can't get in a successful workout because you're overthinking, and then you have to do this and this. Instead of working out, you're on your phone. And you're doing everything that needs to be done on your phone. Well, no, that needs to be a plan. That needs to be a system. Whatever it is that you're working on at that time needs to be inside of your system. So discipline dies in the age of distraction. And right now, distraction's at an all-time high. With social media and instant gratification, distraction is at an all-time high. Everything is at the drop of our feet. I mean, literally, porn these days is people, instead of going out and doing what they need to do in order to find a significant other or find a partner, they just have their fucking OnlyFans now. OnlyFans gives you everything that you need. It is a distraction, and a distraction creates lack of discipline. So we need to focus, realign our focus so that way we can control our burnouts. Because if you take on too much, trust me, I went down this road. If you take on too much, you're going to burn out. And then your system falls apart. And then you don't even enjoy your system because you're miserable. You're not sleeping well. You're not rested. Your body hurts. You're falling apart. And your confidence shrinks. You see others winning and wonder why you're not getting ahead. But you see, you're too mentally scattered to even start your own race. You start doubting yourself, not because you're unworthy, but because you're overstimulated. That's the right connection here. It's not because you're unworthy, it's because you're overstimulated. Unworthy would mean that you're not capable. Unworthy would mean that you're not deserving, but trust me, you are, and you're more than capable. But you need to put the stimulation down. And it's a lot harder than you think because this beast is sneaky. It doesn't just appear and tell you that it's taking over your time. It doesn't tell you that it's going to get in the way of your success. It doesn't tell you that it's going to be the reason why you're not sleeping at night. No, it's overstimulating into things that you think is production or things that you think is necessary, right? So a big one is I need my downtime. 2 to 3 hours before I go to bed. I get home from work 7 p.m. I need 3 hours of me time, unwinding time. So I'm going to watch Netflix, binge, eat a bunch of food, right? This is your me time. But shouldn't me time be about bettering yourself? Shouldn't me time be respecting your body enough to know what's best for it? Shouldn't it be me time is going to be sleep time? Me time is going to be rest? Me time is going to be doing something to better myself for my future self. That's what I see as me time. But instead, we use overstimulation as me time. And then we drive this into a point of burnout or thinking that it's the normal to feel that way that we feel every day. Because you see, real relationships, they're hard. Building and creating something from scratch, that's hard. So you chase dopamine hits instead of building a life you're proud of. Your future you dies in exchange for daily comfort. Because it's something that you believe you absolutely need. You need that downtime. But that downtime is this hidden beast. That downtime is the overstimulation beast. That downtime is the dopamine beast that we continue to fall into instead of realizing what is truly best for us. What does our body really need? But you're not giving yourself, this is the problem, we're not giving ourselves, and trust me, I'm guilty of this, we're not giving ourselves the time, the space, the mental clarity, and the boring time to ourselves to sit back and say what we really need. No, we're hiding behind these dopamine hits. Instead, if I were to journal and sit with myself and meditate, I would start to understand my body, my mind would start to speak to me and tell me what I really need. What you really need, Aaron, is rest. I should probably get some rest. What you really need is to clear your mind. It's cluttered. You probably need to clear your mind. Instead, I turn on the TV and I just bring in. I just consume instead of release. Consuming is dopamine. Releasing is healing. So I want you guys to understand that this is what our mind tells us versus what we actually need for us. What does this beast sound like? How can we correlate this beast to real life? And how do we know when it's speaking loudly? Well, it says things like, I need to check this real quick. I need to look at my phone. I absolutely have to do this right now. Or I'll do it later. Let me just reset for a second. I just need me time. I'm going to sit in front of the TV and for hours. Or I'm going to doom scroll on my phone. I need something going on in the background or I'll go crazy. These voices, these things, I don't know what I want anymore. I feel foggy. Well, these are signs. These are signs that this dopamine is taking over. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go over some cues and some tools to help you strategize to fight the dopamine and overstimulation beast. Because man, I'm telling you, whenever I was able to recognize and hear this beast out loud and call it out and change my habits, that was the hard part. Because it's not just recognition, it's taking massive action in order to put this beast aside. And so you have to be willing. You have to be willing to put these things aside for a while, and that's a tough thing because it's our habits, it's our daily habits, and we know habits are very hard to change. So I'm going to give you some strategies here on how to overcome this beast and how to allow yourself to put down the sword and stop fighting the dopamine beast for such a minuscule time, just for you to understand what it feels like and the peace that life can bring. So the first tool I'm going to set you up with is the dopamine detox hour. Pick 1 hour of your day. Look, our days are very long. We say that we don't have time. There's so much time in a day. Let's say you sleep 8 hours, you work another 8 hours. Well, there's another 8 hours on your plate to have. I need you to pick one of those. One day, every single day, 1 hour, no phone, no music, no scrolling, no Netflix. Let your brain be bored and let your thoughts breathe. You see, this is where breakthrough happens. You don't need more input. You need more integration. You don't need more input. You need more time to sit with yourself and actually hear your thoughts. Because if you want success and you want your fullest potential, well, then you have to be able to hear your purpose. Because your purpose is what's going to bring you to that full potential. Why is that? Well, purpose-driven is the best way to live a life because you'll never let anything stand in your way of reaching that purpose. You never let anything hold you back from getting to that purpose. And that's the kind of dedication you need in order to see that level of success. And so pick 1 hour of the day, every single day, no negotiation, sign a contract with yourself that you will have a dopamine detox hour. No cell phone, no phone calls, no texting, no social media, nothing. Just you, your thoughts. And it might be a scary place at first. You might not recognize it. And that's a sign. If you don't recognize your own thoughts, it's a sign that you are inputting way too much. You never hear yourself. And if you don't hear yourself, how are you going to ever create anything? So tool number 1, dopamine detox hour, and live by it every single day. Put it in your schedule, just like you would a going to work or a session or something, with my clients. They all have it in their schedule. Put it in your schedule to have a dopamine-less hour. Okay, number 2, schedule your dopamine hits. You do not have to quit everything cold turkey. I would never expect that. Again, we live in such an era of dopamine, such an era of instant. We need, overconsume. So I'm not asking you to get rid of it completely or cut cold turkey. Schedule it in. Put it into your schedule. Put it into your system, the system approach that we're talking about. Look, if you love Netflix, there's no problem with watching a little bit of Netflix. Now, you shouldn't be watching it for 6 hours in a day. If you like video games, there's no problem with video games. It's actually good for you in order to give yourself that reward and be able to step out of the craziness that life can be. But we need to schedule your dopamine hits. Put it in the calendar. By delaying the gratification, you retrain your brain to be intentional. You retrain your brain to not need things instantly. You retrain your brain to think on its own terms and not need these things to keep it going. So delay the gratification by putting it into a schedule and follow that schedule. Enjoy that time and allow those dopamines to feel great during the time of the schedule. But also make a schedule for what we talked about earlier, your detox. Okay, very essential. The next tip that I have is microdose stillness. This is a difficult one because, again, we have a hard time being with ourselves. We have a lot of anxiety. We have a lot of insecurity. We have a lot of hatred towards ourselves. We beat ourselves up. And so what I would love for you to do is microdose stillness. Take 5-minute breaks where you do absolutely nothing. Stillness is strength. Sit there, close your eyes, call this your meditation at whatever it is, but this teaches your nervous system to stop craving consistent stimulation. The nervous system, when your nervous system is out of whack, you're going to feel it. You're going to feel exhausted and not know why. This is the terrible thing about dopamine is the dopamine beast is what screws up your nervous system, and then it tells you that you need these things in order to calm your nervous system, right? It's this horrible circulation. It's dopamine hits, messes up your nervous system, tells you that you need a rest, so you do things like Netflix and doom scrolling to mess up your nervous system more, and it's this never-ending, consistent cycle of overstimulation. And so we have to find a way to break free. The next tool is create before you consume. We've talked about this in a different podcast. Every day, before you scroll, before you post, before you reply, create something. Whatever it is, do something for you. Create it to better your future and put you on the right path for the day. So every day we we create before we consume, something like a journal entry, a workout. Prove to yourself that you can generate and not just respond, because these overstimulations and dopamine hits puts us in a very responsive mindset, in a very reactive mindset. It creates the dopamine creates your fight or flight system to go through the roof. So prove to yourself that at the beginning of your day, you can spend time creating for yourself, for your future self. And I promise you, this is going to put you in the mindset of wanting to create more, because you're seeing that you're capable and that you're not just over consuming, because you're going to get lost in this consumption world. This consumption world will take advantage of you, and it will hold on to you, and it will stop you from reaching your full potential. And the beast within, these tools right here, are going to put this beast to rest, and it's going to fight this beast off and put you in a better state of mind. So tool number 5, build a focus ritual. So set a timer for 45 minutes and do one task. It doesn't have to be 45 minutes, 30 minutes, 25 minutes, whatever it is that you can handle at the moment. No background noise, no interruptions. You'll rebuild trust with yourself every time that you follow through with this. Do one task. Set an alarm. When that alarm goes off, go ahead, be at it, go back to a dopamine hit, do whatever it is that you'd like to do, and then set another alarm and have a focus ritual again and see what you get done in this 20 to 45 minutes. Because I promise you, when you see the production of this, when there's no outside noise, when there's no interruptions, you're going to build trust within yourself that you are capable of doing this, and that whatever it is that you set your mind to, you can get done because you have the time and you have the mental energy. Okay, we're going to keep going. I got a couple more, two to three more out of these for you guys. The next one is audit your inputs. Your brain becomes what you feed it. Go through your digital diet and see what you are consuming. It's going to surprise you. Look at the social medias that you're watching. Look at find out what podcast you're listening to. Find out what friends you're listening to, what content, what Netflix series you're listening to, and ask yourself, is this building for me or is this draining me? And that's your answer. Look, if this is building a better you, then you're on the right path. So I listen to podcasts, I read books, I even watch TV, but I watch things that are going to help build me. I listen to things that are going to help build me and give me ideas. I go on social media not to doom scroll and to lose myself in it, but to learn, to educate, to simplify what I'm trying to accomplish by listening to others that have done it before me. So use these dopamine hits to build you and not drain you, and watch what happens with it. Tool number 7, replace escape with exposure. If you're always running from discomfort, well, dopamine's going to win. Instead, sit in it, right? When you feel anxious, when you feel overwhelmed, when you feel unsure, don't run to distraction. Face it, journal it, walk through it, call it out. Because if you keep running, this is going to be your normal. Anytime something challenging or discomforting comes along in your life, you're going to run from it. You're going to look to escape instead of calling it out and bringing it in and finding out what it's really trying to tell you. Because anxiety, I think this is just off the top of my head, Jim Carrey once said that what anxiety is and depression is, it's the current you being sick and tired of playing the avatar that you've been trying to play. And that avatar, you're trying to run from it. Whatever life that you've built, wherever level of success you're at, whatever's going on in your life, you've built this avatar. You've built the person that you are today. Well, anxiety is you running from it. Depression is you wanting to hide from this position that you're in with this avatar. And so instead, sit with it. Break it down. Find out where your head's at. Find out the likes and dislikes within the current situation that you're at, and work on it and improve your system. And the last one I have for you, this one's been beneficial for me. Protect your mornings. Start the day on your terms. No phone, no emails, no texting for the first 30 minutes, and do something that's for you within this 30 minutes. Journal, sit with yourself, just sit with your thoughts, meditate, have a cup of coffee, but with zero overstimulation, no TV, no nothing. Just sit with yourself. This protects your brain from immediately needing external input to feel alive. And if you jump straight into overstimulation first thing in the morning, well, what do you think it's going to drive you to do for the rest of your day? What do you think you're going to spend your time on the rest of the day? This dopamine beast is going to take over. And so when it does, when this dopamine beast overstimulates you and tries to take over your life, rewatch this Beast Within podcast. Re-listen to the tools that I gave you and actually sit with them. Because if you don't, if you just take this in and you say, okay, those are cool, those are nice thoughts, nice tools, I'm not really going to actually do them, well, this is going to continuously happen. And you're going to continuously go down this road until you finally sit with yourself and make the impact on your life that you need to. Then you're going to keep falling to the level of your system. And that goes into this quote. The quote is, you don't rise to the level of your goals. Your goals are high. Your aspirations are high. We all have goals. We all have desires. We all want to be rich. We all want to be whatever it is of level of success that you want. Well, you don't rise to the level of these goals. Yes, they're important, but you need action. And so you don't rise to the level of these goals. You fall to the level of your systems. What systems do you have in play? And this is a system. This beast within, this dopamine beast is a system. It's a systematic approach. I just gave you 8 straight tools. Well, that's a system. Tool 1 through 8, you follow that, it's a system. You need systems, a systematic approach in order to get to the level of success that you want, in order to reach your fullest potential. You do not need more willpower. You need more systems. You're not weak for getting distracted. You're human, and you need a better system. Listen, if you're getting overly distracted, your system's not strong enough. If you're getting overly tired, your system is not strong enough. If you feel like you keep consistently falling short and you're not reaching your goals, your system's not in a good enough play. But your habits need to serve the person you want to become, not the one who's stuck in the dopamine mindset. Again, your habits need to serve the person you want to be. Because if you're trying to create that next level of avatar, well, you have to build the system in order to get there. You're not going to do it by sitting and scrolling and being in this dopamine hit. So please ask yourself, are you overstimulated on a daily basis? Are you finding yourself lack of energy? Well, maybe that lack of energy is not because you're not sleeping. It's because you're overstimulated. And so what would happen if you questioned this? What would happen if you sat with this and tackled this beast, the dopamine and overstimulation beast? What would happen? Well, let's find out. Let's do it together. Use my tools that I gave you up top. And again, guys, this is the Beast Within. My name is Aaron Saltzman. We are overcoming these mental beasts that are holding you back from reaching the best version of yourself. I'm here to drive you and to get you to that next level because I've been there. I've done it. I've walked in the shoes that you guys are walking in now, and I can relate to how you're feeling. So please use these tools and listen to the next beast that we have available, and we will see you guys on the next episode. Peace.